Alright, well, here we go on a Saturday heading to work. So you see, I had to do the throttle 3 times, got the choke pulled out. Before I sat down on the bike, I invoked the name of Willie G. Davidson while spinning counterclockwise 6 times. That's the ritual you have to go through when you start one of these older carbureted Harleys. Brother! Taking the Harley out for a ride, brother! So there's still an awful lot of weirdness going on with Harley. I'm seeing things, they're calling them Wokey Davidson. I'm seeing guys root up their motorcycles. I'm not sure how that's teaching the motor company a lesson in any way. Brother! I'm not sure how that's teaching the motor company any kind of a lesson. They've already got your money. They're laughing at you. Harley-Davidson's laughing at you. They've been laughing at you for a very long time. And just as a thing, I was bored the other day at work. So I was Googling known design problems with various categories of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Man, there was a lot of them. So, for the most part, Harley would come up with a thing, build the thing, and then not really test it all that much. They would get it out, sell the thing, and basically the Harley faithful were the beta testers. That's how they found out, for instance, the panheads were overheating because they didn't have enough cooling fins on the jugs. But they already had them out there, so they had to fix that in the next generation, and so on and so forth. All the problems, all the oil problems with the pans and the shovel. It's just kind of nutty. And then when the Evo, the Evolution, they called it, the Evo motor came out after the dark days of AMF, those motors had all kinds of problems. And slowly but surely they quote upgrade the factory upgraded as they went along. So why not just put the good stuff in from the beginning? It seems to me Harley-Davidson always just tried to get stuff out there as cheaply as possible and basically let the dealers handle it? Guys, what kind of a company does that? Sure, everybody's got issues. A lot of the car companies had problems, absolutely. But would you buy a car that you knew was going to have a problem before you even got it off the showroom floor? Probably not. No car company would survive. So I don't get it, because it says Harley-Davidson, it's okay, and people bought the stuff continually. Even knowing that, like the Evo engines to this day, all the Evos, all of them, they had trouble with the base gaskets. Why do they have trouble with the base gaskets? Because the big long bolts that hold the whole thing together top to bottom, at the bottom, they're too close together. So there's too much stress at the bottom of the motor, and it blows the seals over the years. But they know that. So if they knew that, why did they continue to build them with that particular flaw? Because then they went from the Evo, they went to the twin cam, which gave it even more complexity. Because from what I understand, the Evo motors, they had a big gear at the bottom that spun the cam, pushed the lifters up and down. Okay, And then the twin cam had a cam on the intake and a cam on the outtake, which is okay. The Japanese have been doing that for a very long time. The Germans have been doing that for a very long time. But Harley, I guess just for the sake of, because we're Harley-Davidson, they didn't do what everybody else was doing to make their motors more reliable. Anyway, so when the twin cams came out, it went from a gear-driven thing to a chain-driven thing, and then they had chain tensioners. Brother, ride along, brother. So then they had chain tensioners that would just wear out, would break, would just disintegrate, taking half the taking half of the internals with it. You know, the Evo wasn't all that stellar either at the start because of the way the camshaft bearing works and the way that thing's put in. They had tons of problems with their cam bearings, but again, the factory upgraded. Mine, from what I can tell, being a 97, was towards the end of the run of Evos that were having all the problems. So from what several different Harley guys, mechanic types have told me, oh no, this is the good Evo. Okay, great. So I left all this in, and I changed the camera location because this motorcycle's got the light bar, and I didn't realize, hey, there's just enough room in front of the windshield to mount the camera and the short pole, so I can give everybody the front wheel view of what this looks like every day, or every this particular commute. It's ridiculous. One thing I gotta say about this particular motorcycle is that it's really narrow, so I can get through tighter spots than I can on the other motorcycles I own. That's a huge plus for me for running traffic. Hey, credit where credit's due. Harley-Davidsons are not big bikes. They're just not. This is a Softail frame. Softail frame's slightly smaller than, I guess, the Roaring frame, which is what the Road King is. And even the Road King's not that big. My Yamaha's bigger than a Road King. So, that's really kind of funny. The whole mystique of, Harley being a big bike. It's not a big bike. It's really not. Comparatively speaking to other things out there, they're not big. They're medium-sized at best. And for all you Harley people out there, sorry, brother, hate to bring it to you. This is the smallest bike I got. It's just, it's small, which helps in traffic. It doesn't help on the road, but it helps in traffic. But yeah, the whole Wokey Davidson thing is kind of funny to me. But here's what I think. I think the various holding companies that own all the stock in Harley, I think they are letting what is happening happen so that the company will fall apart and go bankrupt. And they're going to let it go bankrupt. And then while they're sifting dirt over the burning embers of what used to be Harley-Davidson, one of them is just going to turn around and go, okay, I'm going to buy the bar and shield, which is the trademark of Harley-Davidson. And then one of the other companies is going to say, okay, I'm going to buy all the tooling for these Milwaukee 8 motors and the older motors. And then another company is going to go, okay, I'm going to buy all the tooling for the frames. And then the other company is going to go, okay, I'm going to buy all the tooling for the bodywork. And then they're going to do a Polaris, and Harley-Davidson is going to spring from its own ashes. That's what I think. So let's see. Am I right? Who knows? Am I out of my mind? Probably, but nothing else makes sense to me. Why has this company been so badly managed over the years that it's in the shape it's in? How could you, as a company that that's supposedly the vanguard of American freedom, American innovation, American this, American that, brother, tell me, brother, how could that company just let itself fall apart like this? That's what I want to know. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of it has to do with the actual Harley faithful fought tooth and nail against anything that was an innovation. Again, starting with the V-Rod. That was a really good motor. It had a ton of problems too, but it was still better than anything before it. But because everybody hated it, all the Harley faithful themselves hated it, it didn't sell. They lost a ton of money on it. That's the end of it. I mean, who builds a water-cooled motor, a liquid-cooled engine with radiators and fans? But when the fans kick in, it blows all the fuses and kills the relays, so the fans can't run and the damn thing overheats and blows up. I don't get it. What was the point to that, guys? Was that purposeful? I mean, that kind of stupidity, I think, can only be on purpose. Yeah, it seems that just building it that way and then letting it leave the factory like that maybe had an ulterior motive to it. I don't know. Just me. And now with the Milwaukee 8s, with all the issues they're having with the Milwaukee 8, and it's called the Milwaukee 8 because it's got 4 valves per cylinder. 2 times 4 is 8. But what's really funny is, you know what else had 4 valves per cylinder? The V-Rod. But maybe now, because it's only half liquid cooled, that the Harley faithful will put up with it. What's even funnier is that the cylinder heads are what are liquid cooled, so this motor could be more accurately called the shower head than what they did with the V-Rod. So make it make sense, guys. The engine they made before, which was better than the one they have now, you guys absolutely hated. But now you love it. Make it make sense. I don't get it. I really don't. Because of the way it looks. Because Harley-Davidson put it in the big touring bikes. Had the V-Rod been in a touring frame, would you have accepted it? I don't know. It just makes no sense to me. Please make it make sense. But anyway, all the things I do not understand about Harley-Davidson motorcycles, the way they're built, and of course the Harley faithful themselves. It's like, what were you guys thinking? Brother! So check this out. SUV taking up 2 lanes, then another SUV pulls out. Nobody's looking at anything, and I had to go around it into the other turning lane to get around that or get fragged. So when I say real riding, this is the stuff we deal with every day in traffic. Riding hard on the chat, going up PCH is not this. Hey dude, drag your knees in the canyons, carve the canyons. It's not this. I mean, look at that. It's squeezing through traffic. Like I said, it's the one thing about this motorcycle that's awesome, is that it's really narrow. And this is why I say what I do is real riding. What people that ride motorcycles every day is real riding. It takes a certain kind of skill. And here we are pulling up on Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, California. Thanks for riding along. See you soon.